Today, I'm going to let you know how you can go about storing your sketch notes with the long term in mind so that you can maximize the overall impact that your sketch notes have on your life. Now, if you were like me, then when you first started sketchnoting, this idea of how to store them long term wasn't really on your radar because you were probably just more concerned about making something that maybe looked good and was interesting and captured the ideas that you were interested in an engaging way. But after you get a few sketch notes under your belt, you start to realize that you might want to do something other than just throwing them on your shelf or maybe even throwing them in the recycling bin. So today I'm going to share with you a 4-stage system for storing your sketch notes with the long term in mind. Let's get into it. Now, before storing your sketch notes becomes an issue, you first have to take them. So let's not forget that that is the first step in this process. And then after taking your notes, you probably will have some follow-up actions that you'll want to take care of. Things that you will want to do, videos you might want to watch, or books you'd like to read. Maybe people that you'd like to connect with or follow up on based on what you learned, who you learned it from, and who you learned about. So this is the short-term processing stage when you're setting up action items for yourself, things that you want to take care of more or less right away. Now, these next 2 steps are going to depend a little bit on your style and what you're doing overall with your notes. For me, I like to share my notes online. So I like to have a digital storage. Usually that involves writing a blog post in which I include the visual of my sketch notes, but also do a little bit of a written reflection. And even places like Pinterest or Flickr or Google Photos, places where you can store your image so that you know that there is a backup somewhere. But we aren't going to stop there. If you are a pen and paper note taker like I am, you might also want to set up some sort of a physical storage system so that you can hold on to the actual physical sketches. For me, that means putting them in 3-ring binders. I am using those binders in a project-specific way so that all of my own personal sketch notes go in one binder, all of the sketches that I make for verbal to visual go in another, and for each new project that I start, it gets its own dedicated binder to make it easy to search through and find those related to a specific project. And with the peace of mind that you now have, knowing that you've captured all of the important action items, you have a digital storage system in place, and you have a way to keep track of the actual physical piece of paper, you can now start again, knowing that all of the ideas that you previously captured are safe and secure. To be totally honest with you, I have some work to do in that last stage. I do have the start of a binder of some of the very first sketch notes that I ever took. However, the sketches like these, the ones that I've been making for verbal to visual, they are still accumulating right here on this shelf. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to get those stacks of paper organized, and I encourage you to do the same. Think about what your process will look like. And a lot of it, again, will depend on what you're doing, your overall goals with visual note taking, and to what degree you are taking digital notes versus analog notes. For me, I'm really liking the combination. Mostly taking pen and paper notes, but having the combination of digital online storage as well as physical storage. So figure out what works best for you and start storing them so that that can be one less thing that you have to worry about and another part of the overall way in which visual note taking has what hopefully is a very positive impact on your life. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Hope you enjoyed that video. Here's what the initial, even rougher version of the sketch of those ideas looked like. If you want to keep in touch, here's where you can follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. If you would like these videos delivered right to your inbox on a weekly basis, you can sign up for the Verbal to Visual newsletter. That is at verbaltovisual.com. And if you want to go catch a recap of a full hour-long webinar workshop in which we discussed this very topic of how to go about storing your sketch notes, we talked about that just last week. That is part of the Verbal to Visual classroom. If you sign up for the community component of that classroom, then you can hang out with us. Every single week we get together, have a topic that we discuss, and have a workshop activity where you can sketch out your ideas and get some feedback, have some conversations with others. Check out verbaltovisualclassroom.com for that. See you next time.